What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me going over some new player slash returning player mistakes that you do not want to be making on your Grand Cross account. And these are things that are going to be kind of hindering your experience, either growing your account for BoxyC or even just progressing your account in general, guys. We're going to be going over a bunch of stuff in this video, so let's hop in and let's discuss. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 50,000 subscribers. If you guys have not hit that subscribe button already, man, definitely make sure to. Your boy Amazing literally just hit the 40k subs, and we're now grinding to that 50k, man. So if you guys have not supported the channel yet, definitely make sure to drop the like and sub. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and let's go over some stuff that you guys don't want to be doing. Alright, guys, so the first mistake that a lot of players make on Grand Cross is actually with salvaging their gear. Now, the way you want to go about salvaging your gear versus when you're not doing it correctly, this would be the way you're not doing it correctly. So let's say I'm just to start clicking a bunch of these gear pieces right here, guys, and I'm like, okay, I want to salvage all of these pieces right here, and even maybe some of these other pieces right here as well. Now, the one thing that I would not do with this is salvage all these pieces just the way they are. If you're not using the gear, then what you want to do is actually +1 or +5 the gear. Now, what that's going to do is that it's actually going to get you more awakening stones when salvaging, or it's going to give you more enhanced stones when salvaging. So depending on the way you go about it, if you want to increase the amount of enhanced stones you have on your account, you want to do +1 on the gear and then salvage it. So it's going to be kind of like, you know, you invest in the gear a little bit and then salvage it to get more of a profit. And then the other way as well would be if you +5 the gear, because then you're going to be getting some awakening stones, which is going to be made to obviously awaken your gear and get it to UR or even the higher rank. So you guys can see I have 1,300 on my main account, and these are all from just +5ing my gear and then instantly salvaging it, so I'm able to get all the awakening stones right there. So yeah, guys, as an example, what I would do here, if I was to be salvaging gear that I'm not using, you want to make sure as well that when you go here, you actually do show basic stat equipment stats. So now you know which pieces are actually not going to be worth keeping. If you see anything that is less than 80% or higher on the actual basic stat, guys, you want to actually remove it. So for the bracelet right here, the max roll you can get on a bracelet is around, 520 base attack. So if I'm seeing this one that right here, that's 510, this is one that I would not want to salvage and actually would want to lock, because it's going to be very important to hold on to when making an actual attack set, let's say, and I want to make sure I save that bracelet. So the rest of these bracelets, though, the ones that are not the greatest, I could salvage, but remember, if we want to get some bang for our buck, we would salvage them when they're +5, like so. So we would salvage these pieces right here, the ones that are +5, or even the ones that are awakening started well. If they're not like actual good pieces, guys, then you can feel free to salvage them. But if there's something like this where they have really good basic stats, then you want to actually keep the gear, because it's going to be very valuable in terms of making gear in the future and just having longevity for your account. So yeah, man, that is the best recommendation I would go about for salvaging gear, guys. And this is something that a lot of people do make mistakes with starting with the game, because when you're actually salvaging your gear, you want to make sure that you are either +5ing your gear or you're doing +1 to salvage that gear. And another thing I do want to mention as well with salvaging gear, guys, is that you shouldn't salvage the attack and HP pieces or the defense pieces as well, generally speaking, right? Looking at pieces like these crit chance pieces, guys, like if we're actually looking at it, these crit chance pieces we really don't need. When are we ever going to be making a crit chance gear set in Grand Cross? There is literally like only, I think, one character in the game that I would recommend it, and it would be Red Slater. But other than that, you're never gonna see a crit chance set being made in the game. And so whenever I have gear like this, or even like crit resistance, or, you know, crit chance, whatever the case, whatever the gear is, I'm gonna actually salvage a lot of this gear, but I'm gonna obviously +5 this before I do, because, you know, this is gear that I'm not actually gonna be using, and I don't see value in actually keeping. Since most of this gear here is not gonna be used, we can actually make sure to +5 this gear before we actually salvage it. So we would go into our heroes box right here, we would go to one of my characters, and I would just make sure that I go through my gear and make sure that every time I'm going through one of these gears, I'm either doing +1 on the enhanced tier, or we're doing +5. So depending on the amount of enhanced ones you invest, either doing, you know, 25 for this one to get the 5, or you would do 5 to get 1, you will be getting more enhanced stones specifically from doing the +1, and then you would be getting more awakening stones for doing +5. So that is kind of the idea, guys, when going about your gear. Alright guys, so another mistake that people be making on their Grand Cross accounts is by leveling up a ton of characters at the same time. Guys, this is something that you don't want to be doing on your Grand Cross account, and you only want to be focusing on characters that are must invest characters. If you guys want to see a video where I go over my must invest characters, I've made 2 videos already on the channel that go over characters that are worth building, but remember that you don't want to be building all these characters at once. You want to be building these characters whenever you're able to get the materials, and that when you can actually attain them. And you want to actually set yourself some goals when going about your account as well. So as an example here, let's say I'm trying to beat a demonic beast battle in the game. I want to make a team that can actually beat a demonic beast battle. Let's say I want to beat the bird. So let's start building a team here, right? I would want to make sure that I start building Miguelda because she is the main character for the bird, right? So I would start building this Miguelda right here because she's literally tailor-made for it. And then I would start building the rest of the characters that are featured on the team as well. So as an example, we could do like Trader Meliodas, and he was given out free as well, so this is a character we could easily slap on the team. And then another character could be like maybe Queen Diane here, where we have her for the taunt, and she's going to be really good because she's going to be able to tank a lot of the damage, and so we would want to build a character like Queen Diane. And then another character here we could put here, guys, would be maybe Freyr, right? Because Freyr is going to be a character that is just a really strong PvE character in general, and because he was also given out for free in the update, we could build maybe a team like this, and we would want to focus on each of these characters right here. These are some of the must invest characters that I mentioned in my demonic beast battle must invest video, and this is something that I would recommend you guys do, but only for select characters. And you don't want to be investing in all your characters in your box to try and spread out your resources. You want to make sure that you're using all your resources on 1 or 2 things in the game, because you don't want to be spreading them out too much and leaving yourself thin, right? You don't want to waste all your materials on characters that you're not going to be using in the game, and you only want to be investing in characters like that when actually building up your box EC. So obviously my main account here is a whale account, and so I have a lot of things already maxed out. But like when you're looking at my box here, you guys can see that these characters down at the bottom of my box are characters I'm never going to use. That's why I don't have them super awakened yet. These are my last characters that are going to be super awakened. All the characters at the top of the box here are characters that are super desirable, and the ones that I made sure to super awaken because they would be really good on my account. And so these are characters that over time, as I was grinding my Grand Cross account, I was able to eventually invest in and take advantage of how good they could be when fully maxed out. Alright guys, another mistake that a lot of players do make as well is that they actually super awaken all of their characters in their box. This is something that, again, I mentioned with, limit breaking your characters and getting them up, that you don't want to be doing, because if you actually super awaken your entire box right here, it's going to be a waste of SA coins when you could be using them on specific characters in your box. You want to be focusing on obviously the best characters in your account here, and so you don't want to be kind of spreading yourself thin by using all these SA coins just to get SA1 on all these other characters. That will be a pretty good GP increase if you do, but the thing is right, you don't want to be doing that until you're around the end game, where you can actually start spreading out your resources a lot more, since you're going to be, you already have most of the like meta characters already built up. Right, that's when you're going to want to start spreading out your materials, and then maybe with that you can start SA1ing all your characters, and then from there you would go to SA6. And another thing that I do recommend as well, guys, is that if you're going to be super awakening your characters, make sure you go from SA1 all the way to SA6 to make sure you're going to be using that character, because if you're not going to be using the character, then there's no reason to do a SA5 or SA4 or SA3. Nothing like that is going to be worth when you can go all the way to SA6 to make sure the character is at the best potential that they're going to be able to be at. Alright guys, another mistake that new players actually do a lot of the time is actually not pushing up in their regular PvP standing. Now the reason why this is very important to do, guys, is because you actually get weekly gems. This is one of the main locations in the game where you're able to get reoccurring gems, where you get up to 60 gems every single week, which is going to be a great way to, obviously have gems for upcoming banners and make sure that you're saving on your account. I know a lot of new players come to me and are like, amazing, where do you get a ton of gems in Grand Cross? And this is the main way that you actually stockpile a ton of gems, because think about it, right? If you're able to get to the Champion 1, if we look at the weekly rewards here, Champion 1 is going to get you 60 gems and then 56 of these, boxes right here, which come with a bunch of gear. Now, for the average player, you're not going to be able to get Champion 1. Most of you guys are going to be sitting at the Champion 5 range, which is still really good because that's 50 gems every single week, and all you have to do is do your daily PvP stamina, and that's literally it. All you really have to do, guys, is just make sure sure that you're playing PvP every single day and keeping up with your rankings. As long as you make sure that you're in Champion 5, you can never D-rank below Champion 5 as long as you are accepting your weekly reward and continuing to play throughout that week. Because once there is a cutoff point for the amount of time when you go AFK. If you go AFK for too long, then obviously you won't be able to stay in Champion 5 and you will drop a bunch of ranks. But what you want to do as a newer player is you want to push up your PvP rank as much as possible. Even if you're not able to get to Champion 5 right now, let's say you're at Platinum 5, that's still better at Platinum 5 than if you were at Gold 5, right? Or at, even like Gold 3, right? You want to make sure that you are getting to at least the number 5 of the actual tier itself, because you won't actually D-rank below, whereas when you're at like, Masters 1 or Masters 2, you could D-rank to 3, 4, 5, right? That's how pretty much the PvP system actually works. You can only D-rank within the tier and not the actual full tier, so you would always be at Champion 5 every single week, no matter what, as long as you're making sure you accept your, your daily quests and doing your weekly PvP. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for the video here, man. This is going to be part 1 of a part 2 series here. If you guys want to see more, new player mistakes that you guys don't want to be doing, let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this, guys, in the future. And comment down below what other new player mistakes that you guys found that, have kind of hindered your experience when starting Grand Cross, if you're a returning player that's been watching this video. So I hope you guys do enjoy the video, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.